Well, hey there, everybody. Earlier, talking about a few rain chances. They're continuing here into the evening. We've got just this one pesky thunderstorm that's over Effingham County. And in fact, you can see that from downtown Savannah and really probably from about 30 miles out. How beautiful is that? Really hard to complain about a view like that. There are some bugs out there as well. Maybe they're enjoying this nice weather, but there's a little bit of rain out there. I'm going to show you exactly where else we're seeing some rain as I check in to see who's watching on Facebook. Say hello. I'm going to give just a couple of shout outs here as we wait for a couple people to join on in here. We've got Nicole, Tony, T, Sheila, Chad, Lindsay, Lisa, Linda, Maria, Rebecca, Ashley waving, Tamika, hello to you guys. But I want to talk about the weather right now. So that thunderstorm I just showed you guys, beautiful, a few lightning strikes. Now this is just off to the east there of Guyton. So we're going to zoom way in on this before we get to your forecast here for the bus stop, which is very important. Berryville there going towards Stillwell. Not severe, but isolated heavy rain. And that's probably just a couple or a few mile stretch that's really getting in on that heavy rainfall, and everybody else. We can enjoy that beautiful view from the Skycam without having to get drenched here this evening. Another little downpour there over 80. That's going to be just in between Hubert and Atkins and Stilson. So a little bit of rain is out there. It took its time to get down here from the low country today, but it is here nonetheless. And that is the only thunderstorm I'm looking at right now. I think that will hold together and make it to Rincon. So don't be thrown off if you hear a little bit of thunder. Go outside, look to your north in Rincon and see that. Otherwise, a lot of us are pretty warm here today with some areas. Claxton got up to 93, down to 87 though right now. A nice, comfortable for this time of the year, 85 over in Savannah, and still clinging on to the upper 80s over in Alma and Douglas at 88. So a warm day. Checking out on you guys again, watching here. We've got a few folks here saying hello. Sandra, you got Mark, Rebecca, Cher, Lydia, Mark, Brian, Nicole, Mr. Allen's there, Mickey, Penny, Nate, and Marcus watching, as well as Nicole. So some folks may be tuning in to see what the forecast is going to be like for tomorrow morning. Generally speaking, it's going to be okay. I do think that we could have a little bit of patchy fog in the morning, and that goes for you heading out to work as well, not just those kids there getting on the bus going to school, maybe for their first day. I know that we have got at least a handful of counties going back to school for the first time coming up on Monday. Mid-70s, patchy fog, not looking at a very good rain chance coming up for Monday morning. So there's some good news, giving you a general sense here of what's going on there. I have less than a 20%, and of course Cutter's going to be in the morning with an updated forecast as you go throughout the early morning starting at 4:30. But I do think that there could be an isolated shower too, very, very isolated, even more so than what we're seeing right now. So don't really count on rain in the morning, but do count on those temperatures staying in the 70s through the 9 o'clock hour, going up into the 80s. Again, it's actually going to be a pretty warm day there. So let's go throughout the day. And I'm showing you my thinking behind this forecast. I think that the shower activity starts just a little bit earlier tomorrow, and maybe a few more as well compared to now. We're just seeing an isolated thunderstorm out there, and it didn't happen until the evening. I think there's a scattering of showers possible there, about a 30% coverage coming up for Monday. Thunderstorm-wise, there's going to be a brief window for that, and I think it's going to be late afternoon, early evening, maybe an hour to 2 hours where you could have a couple of downpours. There's a lot of moisture in there for these to tap into, but it's going to be isolated like we're seeing now. So what does that mean for you? Well, I do think that commute-wise in the afternoon, and this goes for going home from school, maybe even if they go home closer to 3 to 4, they miss out on some of those versus 5 to 6, maybe a little bit rainier as you head home from work. So we've got Audrey saying hello, and Zelly, Brenda, Jim, Kay, Nicole. Thank you for tuning in on this Sunday evening. So that's what it's looking like tomorrow. But I do also believe that tomorrow might be one of the drier days out of the next few, because how things are kind of setting up is for us to go back into that summertime pattern. And I mean, you're probably tired of hearing it, but I think that the coverage area of rain a little bit greater there Tuesday and Wednesday. Something that you may like to hear is that as we go closer to the end of the week, talking about Thursday, Friday, we relax those rain chances just a little bit. Something else you might like to hear, there's a weak front. It's more of a surface front versus a cold front. Still going to act as a lifting mechanism. Timing that out to next weekend now, going to increase those rain chances coming up Saturday and Sunday of next weekend. So yes, we're already looking ahead to next weekend, whereas as we go through the next handful of days, it looks like it's going to be the afternoons where you get that convection, finally getting those showers and thunderstorms to bubble up the cloud tops, getting higher up there, tapping into all that moisture, and then you get the downpours. But with the downpours, you get these outflow boundaries, and they're kind of like mini fronts, and what they do is they can actually kind of spurt off some other isolated storms or showers as well. So that's what we'll be watching for here over the next few days, and I will be working tomorrow evening as well. So if you guys have those weather questions, you can have them handy. Of course, I'd love to answer them for you guys here. A few people still tuning in here. We've got Rebecca saying thanks for the forecast update. You guys are very welcome. Nicole asks about the Savannah weather for tomorrow, and I do think there's probably about a 30% chance of rain tomorrow, but I want to take it back to what's going on right now. And this thunderstorm, although not very impressive and not very big, we are still seeing a little bit of heavy rain there, just going over Berryville, going towards Stillwell, Springfield, getting in on a heavy rainfall, and that's going down to the Birds area, and eventually this will make it over to Rincon. So I want to show you one more time, if we can, that sky cam of this storm. So even though this storm is very small, you can see it from downtown, and it's just pretty over there on the right-hand side of your screen there. If you're looking off to the right, you can see that downpour, and that's what we're looking at, and on the left as well. But that one on the left is actually a downpour that's over the Hubert area over Highway 80, and we'll get the bug off the screen there. But I just wanted to show you what we can see, even though it's 20, 30 miles away for some of us, depending on where you're at. But otherwise, some more good news. Organized severe weather really not in the forecast, which is always great. And, every now and then you can get one of those thunderstorms that becomes severe for about 30 minutes or so, kind of rains itself out. That actually happened over up the Savannah River in South Carolina today. So we'll be watching out for those, but overall concern is just not very high for that. And I don't think, looking at this week ahead either, that those rain chances are going to be as high. So if I was a parent and had my kids going back to school, I would say, you don't really need your rain jacket. Maybe you got them a new rain jacket for back to school. I know some of you guys maybe took advantage of that tax-free weekend. Don't need it in the mornings. Afternoons, just pack it in there, even though it's kind of annoying to take up that space in the backpack or carry around an umbrella or the rain jacket. It's just safe to have it in the afternoon for the walk home from school or from the bus stop as well. So if you guys have questions, I'll be on here. We've got Tony saying hello. Rhonda says hello as well. If you guys have weather questions this week, I will be here answering them for you guys. And if not, be sure to tune back in at 11. I'll have the 7-day forecast updated. I don't expect there to be much of anything in the way of precipitation falling there at 11, but if it is, I'll be here for you guys, and we'll see you then.